Grade 7 mathematics. Let us help grade 7 in one thing here. There's this substrand called combined operation. Combined operation. So that is what you want to look at, combined operation. Now, operation simply means if you are given a sum or a question to maybe some numbers to add, others you are told to subtract, others you are told to multiply, others you are told to divide. Now, these are what we call operations. Operation simply means solving mathematics using different methods. Either you can add, or you can subtract, you can divide, or you can multiply. All those are what we call operations. So there are substance that only talk about addition. You only add. Others will give you subtraction, others will give you division, others multiplication and all that. But at some point, these things are put together. So you find one question has addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division in one particular question. So this is what we call combined operation. So let me give you an example. An example of 6,489 minus 9,054. You're using very big figures. Divide by 3 plus 2,890. 2,890. Now, combined operation, this is subtraction, this is division, this is addition. Now, in this case, there are 3 operations to be carried out. These operations, we don't have the choice to start with what is easier for us. That choice is not there. There is a rule that we must follow for us to solve such question so that we get the correct answer by the end of the day. Now, the method that we are supposed to use, the rule I'm talking about, is the rule of what we call the BODMAS. This is not a new term. This term you have heard, grade 7 has heard that term, but sometimes we just know it and we don't know how to work out such things, and we are going to look at that example. Now, BODMAS, the first operation to be carried out is B, that is bracket. If there is any bracket there, that is what we start with. The bracket is not there in this case. Another operation, the second one, is O, that is off. If there is the word off there, like a half of 24, something like that, then after solving the bracket, we can move to off. If off is not there, we go to D, that is division, that is the third. So it starts from B, from the left, moving towards the right. Don't start with S, A, M, no. It's from B, O, D, E, in that order. So that is how they are supposed to be followed. Then we have M, the fourth operation, that is for multiplication. Then we have A for addition. Then the last operation is S, that is subtraction. So that means in this case, using this order here, we don't have B for bracket, we don't have O, we have D for division. So once you meet your first operation, identify it. Like in this case, we are going to start with D, that is division. So we will pick those numbers that should be divided, that is this. So let me use this calculator because of time to get it very fast. That is 9,054 divided by 3. So that is 3,018. So once you work it out, put it exactly that number here under whatever you are working out. Once you have worked it, put it here so that it doesn't confuse you. After you have worked out the first operation, bring that answer under it. Then copy the rest the way they were. In this side, there was minus 6,489. This side was plus 2,890. And this example has really given me what I really wanted, because this is where the problem comes. In fact, if you understand this, even there's no need of doing other examples, because this is really what I wanted. Now, if you look at the order, after division, we have multiplication, which we don't have here. So after multiplication, there's addition, which we have here, this one here. Then subtraction. Now, anytime you are dealing with combined operation, then you reach a point where you are remaining with these two operations, addition and subtraction. Don't say addition comes first, then you say this plus this. No. If you do that, that is the first formula of failing. So, if you look at the order of operation, the BODMAS, addition comes last. Division, subtraction, that S, comes last. And therefore, the moment you remain with addition and subtraction, remember, somebody will follow this order and say addition comes. Then you will say 3,118 plus 2,890. If you do that, remember, this number is being subtracted. This number, it is written minus 3,000. So this number is being subtracted. So you are not supposed to add a number that is being subtracted to any other number. Because remember, if you add this number to this, is when you subtract from here. That means you have subtracted both numbers from here, but there is only one number that is being subtracted. So that is the mistake most learners do. You realize that you have really tried, you have worked the division, the multiplication. Now you are remaining with addition and subtraction. And because they have not been arranged according to your order, you decided to follow this. No. A number that is written minus this, don't make a mistake of adding any number to that number, because if you add first this plus this, then you subtract. That means you have subtracted both numbers from here. But remember, this one is being added. So the only number that is being subtracted here is this. So the first thing, identify that number and take it last, because subtraction is the last operation. So you will come and say, this number minus 3,018 is the last to be worked out. So take it last. So you will bring it here, the last minus 3,018. Once you have that, this one and this one, you will realize that these two are going to be, you are going to remain with this plus 2,890 and this. So you will have 6,000 plus 2,890. This is where the problem always comes. So look at how it has been arranged. Now this one is the last thing, because that is what is supposed to be done last, subtraction. So don't add any number. So we are going to add these two numbers. So let me add the two numbers there. That is 6,489 plus 2,890. So that gives us 9,379 minus 3,018. So that is the last operation. So we'll subtract 3,018 to get 6,361. That should be there. That should be your answer there, 6,361. Now, the reason why I have picked this combined operation is this part here. Otherwise, the rest of the part does not have a problem, because you will just follow them the way they are. Come on, off, you just do that. Come on, multiplication, just like this times this. Come on, division, this divided by this. But once you reach addition and subtraction, the two, you are remaining with the two operations. Don't say this plus this, especially if the number that you want to add that number to is written minus this, because the sign of a number is always in front of it. Like this number is being subtracted, that's why it's written minus 3018. This one is plus 2000. So this number is being added, this one is being subtracted. Don't make a mistake of adding a number to a number that should be subtracted. So that is the point I really wanted to make clear. So I think that one is well understood. That one is well understood. So let me get another, maybe the last example here. Let me have one with the, let me get a small one of 275 minus 127 times 3 plus 6,523. So this one has three operations. So in this case, we have subtraction, multiplication, and addition. Using BODMAS, the order of operation, multiplication comes first according to the three operations. M comes before A and S. So once you identify the operation, put it in bracket and work out. So this is 127 times 127 times 3. 127 times 3. 127 times 3. So that gives us 381. And I said bring it down under it, 381 there. Then the rest copy the way they are. Don't change anything. Don't change anything. So you look at, if you reach this point, you will realize that this is addition. This is addition plus 6,523. So if what I was saying, if you add it to this number, then you want to subtract all of them. Even if you look at this, it is not even possible. This is 275 minus. So if you add this to this, then you subtract. You cannot subtract 6,000 or and above from 200. So once you have the two operations, addition and subtraction, identify the subtraction which will be carried out last and take it last. So you will talk of this minus 381 is the last operation. So you will realize these two are added. 275 plus 6,523. Then finally you will subtract that. So if we have 275 plus 6,523, that gives us a total of 6,798, then minus 381. Now that is the last operation, minus 381. So we get a total of 6,417. 6,417. 6,417. Now, that is the order of operation. So there, why I really wanted to do this combined operation is to help, because these things start from grade, especially this of so many operations, like you can find addition, multiplication, division, either 3 or 4 in one question, starts all the way from grade 5. So if you obey that order, especially these last two operations of addition and subtraction, so that you don't hurry and say, let me add this to this, because it is written this plus this. Look, the number before you add, make sure that the number you are adding to that number is not written minus this. Because if it is written minus this, that means that number should be subtracted. So if you add a number that should be subtracted to a number that should be added, that means you are subtracting both numbers. If you add this to this, then you subtract, means you are subtracting both this and this from this one number, which is not correct. There's only one number that is being subtracted. Identify it and take it last, because subtraction is the last operation. So up to that point, my dear friends, question or answers or any comment or anything you want us to do, wake up, put in the comment. We will always respond. Like this one, there's somebody who told me to do this. There's somebody also who told me to do LCM. So LCM is also coming in the next video. Otherwise, continue subscribing and continue sharing and liking and everything. Thank you. Let's meet in the next lesson.